You may recognize our next guest from his standout role in HBO's Insecure, but now he's taking on a new challenge as a pivotal presence in a new thrilling series set in 1960s Baltimore, surrounding the disappearance of a young woman. Let's take a look.
Now you wanted those same dreams to rewrite it. But why did you need to drag my dead body into it?
This is not your high school newspaper, Maddie. People's lives are at stake.
So what you gonna do? You gonna get that money and leave everybody behind?
It looks scary. It looks so beautiful at the same time. Joining us now in studio, Y'lan Noel, to discuss his role in Lady in the Lake, a highly anticipated series with high-stakes storylines that reveal deep societal issues. Thank you so much for joining us. So excited to meet you.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me, Mireya.
All right, so the series was born from a very popular Laura Lippman mystery novel of the same name. Were you familiar with the story before taking on the role?
I wasn't familiar with the story per se. It wasn't until I found out about the role and Alma let me know that it was happening that I, of course, did my due diligence and read the book. And when I read the book, I was just like, okay, this is pretty astounding. It's always interesting, you know, when you're developing something for the screen, because the book isn't a fleshed out, embodied perspective.
This is a story that, you know, has twin tragedies themed throughout it, gender and race. Tell us a little bit about your character as a police officer in this and how he plays a crucial role among the intertwining of these storylines.
Yeah, well, shout out to Alma Harrell, our director, for the intertwining. You said a little bit of it, but because it's a murder mystery, noir, psychological thriller, period piece that's, you know, set in the 60s with elements of fantasy and all this other beautiful stuff that's happening. And yeah, Ferdy he's a cop who, I think that one of the coolest qualities that he has is that he's unwilling to compromise, right? He has an integrity about him that I found quite intriguing.
I would imagine, at least in my business, right, when I'm looking at a mentor, somebody who's been doing this for a while, I like to study them. I like to watch and see how they work and like try and take a little bit of them, you know, on set with me. How is your experience working alongside Natalie Portman, who's been acting since she was a child? I mean, are you watching her from afar and taking notes, or is she like willingly giving you some advice? How was that?
I'm doing a bit of both, to be honest. I mean, I feel like it was probably the most nervous that I've ever felt going into a project for the reasons that you stated. I've been a fan for her since I started acting. You know, before I knew what a monologue was, I knew who Natalie Portman was. I knew The Professional, and, you know, I saw Black Swan 3 times consecutively in the same day. So to be acting out opposite her and have a front row seat to what she does so effortlessly was mind-blowing.
Do you want to pivot just a little bit to another exciting moment in your career right now, the Call of Duty franchise?
Hey.
Your voice will be starring in the eagerly anticipated Black Ops 6. How does voice acting for a video game differ from what you are doing on the screen right now, what we're talking about right now?
It's deceivingly tough, simply because of the fact that it's just your voice for the most part. You're not able to rely on your mannerisms when you're in a voiceover booth. You know, you're not able to rely on maybe an expression that might be on your face. It's all your voice. So to communicate the nuance of emotion through the voice was challenging. To do it at this caliber was you know, just an incredible opportunity for me to have, and it made me one of the coolest cousins to my younger cousins in my family. So I got that little familial cachet that I'm walking around with my head high at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, walking around with some swag over that, I would imagine. Now, did I hear right? You are a gamer yourself? I
am. I mean, gaming was escapism for me when I was growing up. I spent most of my hours not studying, you know, playing games, and to be on the cover of one of the biggest games now is just, you know, a dream come true.
All right. Well, Y'lan, thank you so much for sharing with us and staying with us today and answering all these fun questions. Lady in the Lake starts streaming globally on July 19th on Apple TV+. Thanks again.